If we claim that the Bible is our standard for behavior, standard operating procedures, then why don't we mimic what it shows us in introducing kids to Jesus? I'm going to explain to you exactly what I mean. It's very clear, but people just don't think about it. So, in the Bible, here's how kids were introduced to him. Smart parents, parents who knew the value of Jesus, said, we need to get our kids to him. Jesus is, he's all that he is. There's about 100 different titles of how flipping awesome he is in the Bible. And they were like, we need to get our kids to him. Right? So they did. They just brought them to him. And he was glad to receive them. And the disciples, who were sort of still clueless at this point, they figured it out later, tried to stop him. They're like, no, Jesus is too busy. He's got more important stuff to do. You guys aren't like top on his priority list, or whatever they thought. And Jesus was like, excuse me? They are my priority. You get them over here now. And anybody who gets in the way, well, he said, do not hinder them, right? Which in that day, he would have been like, don't you dare keep those kids from me. That's more like if you want the accurate spiritual translation, that's it. He's like, don't you dare keep those kids away from me. Well, he would have said it in a loving way, but he would have said it sincerely. And then what? And then he just loved on him and blessed him. It says he put his hands on him and he blessed them. Like, how would you like to have Jesus himself bless your kids? Right? Now let's compare this to what we generally see done with kids in churches, in Christian culture, contemporarily. I speak from experience. I have 40 years of experience in Christian culture, 35 seriously, right? But 40 if you include my childhood, which this is what we're talking about, so that's why I say 40 this time. Kids are taught all about Jesus, and they're taught the Bible, and then what? Then they're taught to say a sinner's prayer. Did Jesus make any kids say a sinner's prayer? Nope. Then they're taught they should be baptized, and sometimes they are baptized. Did Jesus have any kids be baptized before he allowed them to be brought to him? No. Then we teach our kids to memorize Bible verses. Did any of those kids that were brought to him have to memorize Bible verses before they were brought to him? No. Some of them might have had some verses out of the Torah memorized. It's possible. We don't know. But it certainly wasn't a requirement. Right? So we have all these things that we do to kids in contemporary Christian culture that are what? They're religious. They have a form of godliness, but like, right? Denying the power thereof. Like, you want to do what the Bible does? If the Bible is standard operating procedure, you bring your kids to Jesus. How? By knowing him yourself. By having a relationship with him yourself. He lives in you. He's with you all the time. We're supposed to abide in him. What does abiding in him look like? It means having a relationship with him all the time. He loves kids. When he's with you, he's going to gladly coach you and have you administrate your own relationship with him to them and model it. So why not just do that? Or you could just send them to Sunday school, teach them a bunch of confusing Bible verses that may or may not help them later in life and may actually turn them against the faith later in life, which I've seen plenty. Don't make the wrong assumption that just giving your kids the Bible will do its work, because that's an incorrect assumption. People assume, let the word do its work. Well, I've seen tons of people Tons who know the Bible and they were taught the Bible as kids and they turn right around and use it for opposite reasons. That's a bad assumption. So we can either do that, just send them to Sunday school, give them Bible verses, and give them some canned prayers that have like a probably 5% chance of actually connecting them to Jesus. Or we can have a relationship with Jesus ourselves like we're supposed to. Abide in him, abide in me as the branch, right? And as we have that relationship with him, we can include our kids inside of it and introduce them to him. Just like what? Just like in the Bible. Thanks and have a great day.